Hi everyone, I'm Ghost from Fractured Pawn, and today I'm going to be showing you how to play the first board game that I designed, Lilyleapers. It is a strategic, competitive, and very quick racing game. Your objective is to get all of your frogs across the pond as fast as you can, knocking your opponent into the water, catching flies to roll again, and whoever gets all of their frogs to their log first wins. Let's hop into it. To begin Lilyleapers, start by placing the main pond board game in between both players. Then, take a 4-sided die and roll to see whoever goes first. Highest number wins, or whoever lost the last game can go first. Next, each player chooses a color and takes the 5 corresponding pieces into their hand. You can use any 4-sided die, or any other type of 2 different tokens if you wish. On your turn, you will roll the die and take 1 action. The die will determine the number of lily pads, or spaces, that your frog will hop along. You must move the amount of spaces as determined by the die. If you cannot, then your turn ends. A 1 will move 1 space, a 2 will move 2 spaces, a 3 will move 3 spaces, and a 4 will move 0 spaces. The 2 types of actions you can take are 1. Add a frog to the game board, or 2. Move a frog already currently on the board. Frogs will enter the pond on the lily pad matching the flower of their color. That lily pad is also equal to 1 space. So, for example, let's say I roll a 3. I will enter in on the first lily pad corresponding with purple, being 1 space, 2 spaces, 3 spaces. My turn will end there. Only 1 frog is allowed on a lily pad or a rock at a time. If you already currently occupy a lily pad, you cannot move a frog there. So say it was my turn again and I rolled another 3, I could not bring in another frog 3 spaces because I already have a frog occupying that space. I would have to take the second action and move the current frog 3 spaces. So if it was my opponent that rolled a 3, they could bring in one of their frogs 1, 2, 3 spaces, kicking me off the lily pad and sending that frog back to my hand, stealing my spot. You can hop over lily pads that are currently occupied by you and your opponent. So say this is the current layout and I happen to roll another 3. I could then move my frog 1, 2, 3, hopping over my currently existing frog. As long as you land on an empty space, you can move there. Think strategically as you move, because where you land does matter. Although you can knock an opponent off of a lily pad, you cannot knock an opponent off of the rock space. It's too sturdy of a spot. So if my opponent happened to roll a 3, they could not move their current placed frog 1, hopping over my frog for number 2, and landing on the rock for 3. The only move that they could do would be adding a new frog for 3 as there's an open lily pad there, hopping over their own. The rock is home to a very delicious fly. When you land on the rock and fly space, you can then take another turn. Each frog will follow a specific pattern around the pond. They will start on the lily pad, corresponding to their color flower, going up to the top row, down the middle, back across the bottom row, and then up towards their log. Only the lily pads in the center are communal lily pads, where you can knock your opponent off of. The corner lily pads can only be landed on by your own frogs, so they are safe spaces, in a sense. I say in a sense because you need an exact number of spaces in order to land on the log. So if I had all of my frogs in this position, in order to move this one to the log, I would need to roll a 1. Well, I rolled a 3. That would allow me to move the one on the rock 1, 2, 3 spaces. Once you land on the log, that frog has successfully made it around the pond. You can take it off the log and set it to the side. The first player to get all 5 of their frogs to their log will win. Lilyleapers is a really quick but also hiddenly strategic game. Where you land on the pond matters. Have a lot of frogs out on the pond, and you kind of prevent yourself from moving unless you get an exact number, which the odds go down for. But if you don't have enough spaces, then you can't knock off your opponent. Then they might have a higher chance of winning. This is a perfect small-sized game for a date night or to take to the bar and play with friends. The great thing about Lilyleapers is that it could be anyone's game up until the last moment. If you wish to purchase Lily Leapers for yourself or for a friend, you can find it on the Game Crafter's website or in the link below. It is holding a crowdfund sale from February 5th, 2024 until February 16th, 2024. You can also visit my website, fracturepond.com, for more board games that we are designing, as well as keeping up to date with us. Be sure to subscribe here and follow us on other social media for more board game content. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have fun.